Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Mokgadi Maake. Wishing you happy holidays. I still you're in a holiday spirit, and let's get this workout in. I did say that this week the hours will have to be flexible. It's a busy time of the year, so things do come up and things do happen. So nonetheless, I am here. And if you are unable to catch this live, the great thing is that it will be replayed. So you can step along to the replay whenever it is convenient for you. The first thing you need to ensure is that your stepper is placed on a flat, non-slippery surface, that you have your resistant bands ready, any form of weights that you're able to handle, and that the weight limit capacity of your stepper allows for. I hope my microphone is connected. All right. Another important thing is that you need to make sure that you hydrate pre and post workout, and most importantly throughout the day. I may not have my water bottle with me, but I have been hydrating before this workout. All right, so what you need to do now, we are going to get on the stepper. My apologies for the lighting. I don't have good lighting, but I hope you can see what I am doing. You're gonna bring up your body mass up to a leveled place like this. You're going to engage your core, and then you need to make sure that your shoulders are down and relaxed. Drop all your body mass onto your heels, and then we are going to exert pressure on the heel and step. You need to be mindful and take note of which foot is leading. My right foot is leading. We're gonna continue like this. Usually when we start out, the stepper is quite tense. Eventually the hydraulic will heat up, and then we'll be able to pick up our pace. Let's move. So we are warming up along with the stepper. Step, step, step. For those of you who are saying that your steppers are squeaking, they all squeak. Do you hear mine? It's also squeaking. It's just what they do. Step. All right, now my left foot is leading. Step. Bring your attention to your posture, to your body, making sure that your core is engaged, your spine is straight, and you're exerting pressure on the heel. Step, step, move. We are stepping into the new year. Step, step, move it, move your body. Step. If you are able to pick up a pace a little bit, it might still be difficult because we just got started. Keep going. Push. I know it's difficult. I know it's hard. I know that the steppers are quite tense. I know that the resistance is high. If your stepper has an adjustment knob, you may want to loosen it a little bit. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon. You may want to loosen it a little bit by turning it anti-clockwise, and it can help ease up the tension. Otherwise, you're just going to have to keep stepping and break into it. Eventually, you'll overcome the resistance. It will loosen. Let's push. Step. Pay attention to your breathing. Step. Come on now. Pay attention to your balance. Step. Right now, my right foot is leading. Every now and then, if it seems like I'm pausing momentarily, it means that I'm alternating between which foot is in lead at that particular moment in time. This will help you with coordination. This will help you with even muscle development. It will also help to keep your brain engaged. Step. Step. Move it. Step. Move. Step. I did struggle to come on here live earlier on today. I intended to come on 6 a.m. South African Standard Time, but I failed to do so. Why did I fail? There was no way I could do it because I did not get any sleep last night. I didn't sleep at all. For various reasons and disturbances, I could not sleep at all. And this goes back to what I was just talking about yesterday. And it goes back to the importance of what I'm always preaching in terms of getting sufficient sleep. There was no way I didn't have the energy to get on this stepper and exercise earlier on. I had to go back to bed and try to sleep. So I only got probably 2 hours of sleep. I still feel terrible, don't have stamina, but nonetheless, at least I feel better than I did earlier. After sleeping for about 2 hours, I'm able to at least get on the stepper now and exercise. Step, which goes back to what I always say, or the 4 pillars of this, what we are doing on this channel, or the message that I always preach whenever we are doing the Step and Feel Transformation Challenge. Number 1, we exercise, we move the body through exercise. Secondly, we nourish the body by eating nutrient-dense food that have got low to moderate sugar quantity. Thirdly, we hydrate the body by drinking adequate amounts of water. Number 4, we rest the body by getting sufficient sleep. If you don't sleep, you won't have motivation to exercise. You won't even have the physical strength or the stamina and endurance for any exercise routine. That's what's going to happen. Number 3, if it happens on the regular that you're not getting sufficient sleep, it will affect your hormones. You need to sleep in order for you to regulate your hormones. That's why some people are also struggling to lose weight, because your hormones are all over the place and they're not regulated. Through regular exercise, through regular hydration, through regular sleep. Step. And if your hormones are all over the place, even your stress hormones will go up, they're unbalanced, and it will affect your weight loss. It will affect how your body responds to anything. Step. Step. So that's how much important sleep is. Step. But at least now I feel better than I did earlier in the morning. Even though I feel terrible, I feel like I've been hit by a truck. Just one sleepless night. I can feel the effects. Step. But we're gonna push through, we're gonna try and get this workout in, because it's necessary. We must show up. Step. Step. Just a reminder that the new Step and Feel Transformations Challenge starts next week, Monday. We exercise Monday through Fridays, where Monday to Thursday is during evening time, 5:30 p.m. South African Standard Time. And it is on Friday, where we exercise 5:30 a.m. South African Standard Time. However, during this festive season, maybe even into the first week of the first week of January, hours may need to be flexible. So you may not get regular hours, unfortunately. That's just what it is. You just gotta keep out for notifications. That's why it's important to turn on your notification bells, so that it can notify you on whenever I come on live. And if you're unable to join the live at whatever time, because remember we are at different time zones, the good thing is there's always a replay at your own convenient time, in your own time zone. You can press the replay, revisit this video, and exercise. Step. Move. My heart is racing. That's exactly what we need. Step. Get your arms going. Swing them. Swing. Move. Firm them up. Push. Step. Your core is still engaged. Your spine is still straight. Your shoulders are down and relaxed, and you're still exerting pressure on the heel. Pick up the pace. Step. You should be able to pick up the pace right now. Move it. Love it. Push it. Step. Walk the body through exercise. Nourish the body by eating nutrient-dense food Hydrate the body by drinking adequate amounts of water, and rest the body by getting sufficient sleep. Step, step, move it, work it, love it, get it, step, move, step, move it, move, and move, move. Come on now, move, move, move it, step, step, and step. Come on now, push it, step, step. I'm gonna go on and grab my resistant bands and continue in the same fashion. These resistant bands just add on tension onto my body, onto my arms. Step, move it, step. Be careful with the resistant bands. Don't pull them so hard that you pull your stepper out of place. Step, just pull them enough to create tension in your arms. Step, move, step. Come on now, step, move it, step, push it, step, step, move. I know it's tense. Step, my arms are burning. Step, few more seconds, few more seconds. Step. Okay, I'm gonna let go of the tension. Step. We're gonna lean forward, bend your knees, exert pressure on the front part of your feet. Your entire foot is still firmly placed on the pedal. Don't lift your feet as if you are flip-flopping, like you know you're wearing flip-flops. You're not doing that. Step, step, move it, step. Come on now, play yourself some background music. It should distract you from all the squeaking of my stepper. Step, it will keep you motivated. It will help you get a rhythm going. Step, we're still jogging it. Firm up your arms, firm up your core, firm up your thighs, lean forward, bend your knees slightly, and step. Step, move it, get it, step, move, step, step, move it, step. My left foot is now leading. Push. Come on now. Step. Push it. Come on. Step. Get it. Move it. Step. Come back upright. Come back upright. Step. Cha-cha. Cha-cha. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Step. Step. Come on now. Step. Step. Move it. Step. Work it. Step. Push it. Step. 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 Move. Step. Come on now. Step. Push. Get it. Step. 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 Keep going. Continue like this. Continue like this. Step. Come on now. Step. Push it. Love it. Move. Work that body. Come on. Step. Don't quit. Don't give up. Don't give up. Step. You can't take a break. Taking a break is not giving up. Step. 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 Come on now. Move it. Step. Step. Move. Move. Push it. Step. 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 To the glutes. Step. Your lower back is curved inwardly. Your knees are bent, you're tilted forward. Your core is engaged. Short, rapid strides. Pressure is on the heel. Firm up your arms. Firm up your glutes. Step. Step. Move. Step. 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 Move it. Step. Release. Step. Again. Hold it. Step. Feel your glute muscles engaged. Step. Step. Move it. Step. 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 Keep going. Step. Step. Squat. Step. Squat. Squat. Release. Release. Step. Move it. Step. Come on now. Step. Step. Again. Squat. Bicep muscles. I don't have any bicep muscles, honestly. That is still a work in progress. It's all jiggly with my biceps. I don't have any bicep muscles. There's nothing. It's still a work. It's still a work in progress. That's all I can show. There's nothing. Step. Step. What the hell are you doing? Do we have to use the word hell? How rude. What the hell are you doing? Ugh. Anyway, step, squat. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Step, short strides. Your pedals are not hitting the panel of the stepper. Squat. Feel the tension in your thighs. Step. I know it burns. Hold it. Few seconds. Step. Keep going. Your spine is straight. Your core is engaged. Your shoulders are down and relaxed. Step. Release. Ooh. Step. Step. Move it. Work that body through exercise. Move it. Move. Step. Move it. Come on now. Step. Step. To the glutes again. Step. 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 Firm up your thighs. Firm up your glutes. Firm up your arms. Firm up your core. Your lower back is curved inwardly. Step. Push it. Step. Pressure is on the heel. Short strides. Hold it there. Hold it. Step. Release. Release. Step. Move it. Step. Move. Again. Step. 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 Move it. Step. Push it. Step. Step. Come on now. Move. We are almost there. Almost. Step. Move it. Step. Release. Can you do 20 push-ups? No, I can't. Step. Step. Move. Step. Step. Again. Step. 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 Move it. We're going to sprint it and call it a day. Step. If you're a beginner, keep your feet at the center rest stepper. If you're advanced, you can get your heels off the stepper, lean forward, your knees are slightly bent, all your body mass is at the back of the stepper now. So you need to make sure you balance it by leaning forward so you don't flip over. Firm up your thighs, firm up your glutes, follow the rhythm of the stepper and sprint as fast as you can. Sprint. Sprint. Step. Step. Yes, we changed locations today. You're right about that. Step. Step. Sprint. Morning to you. Good morning to you. Step. Move it. Step. Move it. Move. You see the beauty of a stepper. Wherever you go, you can pack it with you. Step. That's why it's my preference mode of exercise is stepping. No electricity. Can move it anywhere. Can put it in my luggage bag. Can put it in my car. Can take it with me to work. Can take it with me to the beach. I can take it over to a friend's house. Can move it to the kitchen, the living room. It doesn't use electricity. Doesn't take up space. It doesn't require you to assemble, disassemble. Nothing. Step. It's lightweight. Step. It's efficient. I am sweating. My heart is pounding right now. You may not see it. You may not see my organs, but I know my organs just got the benefit of exercise today. Step. Move it. It's low impact. It's easy on my knees. Step. That's the beauty of a stepper. Move it. I am getting a full body workout. I am engaging my arms. Step. I am engaging my core. Step. Move it. Again. That's the beauty of a stepper. Step. Step. Sprint. Sprint. Push it. Alrighty. Step. We are going to sprint one more time. Call it a day. Step. Move it. Please take note of what I said at the start of the video. The importance of sleep. Step. My lack of sleep yesterday it's impacting already my entire day. Step. I at least did manage to show up and push through for even about 30 minutes, but it's hard because I did not get enough sleep. I barely got any sleep. Step. But it's all right. We keep moving. Step. Make sure you hydrate. Make sure you get good rest. Make sure you exercise. Make sure you nourish your body. Let me read the comments. I think there's a potential to show so many things. More low impact exercise as the channel grows. There's still so much room for so many things to take place on this channel. Trust me, it will take time, but there is so much room, especially the nutritional aspect of this. I don't want to just jump into things. They require planning and thoughtfulness in how you approach certain things sometimes. There's so much room for many exercise tips, other exercises, like what you're saying, low impact, how to even incorporate many other routines into this one that you can simply do at home. There's room for so many things, so many. So of course, as the channel grows, I'm hoping to see a lot of things become fruitful. Step. Someday, let's keep growing the channel. Let's keep growing the community. One other thing as well that I wanted or I desired is to also hear your contributions as part of the community. So it's not just me showing you what to do. Many of you are knowledgeable. Many of you have been exercising way more than I do. Many of you have been maintaining a way healthy lifestyle and maintaining a healthy weight way longer than I have, and you have a pool of knowledge. We can find a way to share that amongst our community. That's my hope for this channel. So you get to see other members of the community as well, engaging, coming on here live, side by side, co-hosting a live, co-hosting whatever, sharing different strategies, different routines, different ideas. It will be much more fruitful coming from a pool of people rather than one person. I know that that could be debatable to say if you have a lot of opinions or you have a lot of different ways of doing things, people might end up confused. Well, it is debatable, but we can find a way to share some of, our common struggles and be able to help each other with strategies and ideas from other members of the community as well. So, you're feeling, yes, I'm so glad to hear that. You will feel changes in your energy levels, especially energy levels, guys, and mental clarity. I often even ask myself, like, before I started exercising regularly, I don't know how I used to manage, as I was always beyond stressed out, because I feel like with exercise, like, I don't know, I can't explain it. You feel lighter, you feel energized, you feel stronger, Step. I think for me, the biggest challenge sometimes is always getting started. If I could just make a decision to get started every single day, sometimes depending on many different factors, it's the motivation to start. But once you start, you should be okay. But then I realize it's normal to feel this way. Some people don't experience this. Some people are very motivated every day. You know, they're very always, they don't struggle. It's not a struggle for some people. But others, that's not the same story. I do have days where it's not a struggle. I do have days where it is a struggle. I do feel sometimes I am motivated to exercise and I am ready and I have the stamina. Other days I don't. That's my experience. But some people, they're always up there. So they say. But all I'm saying is, it's just like any other aspect of life. I don't always feel like going to work. I don't always feel motivated at work. I don't always get results. No matter how much effort I put in, sometimes I don't get favorable results. There are disappointments. There are so many things that happens in our career. Sometimes you take a step, 10 steps forward, only to take 50 steps backwards. And then you fall. You have to learn. You get up. You are challenged. I look at it the same way. Irrespective of that, whether you are sometimes even when you're sick, you show up at work, don't you? You show up and you honor your duties and your responsibilities. So why can't you show up for yourself? I look at it that way. Regardless of whether I feel like whatever's going on in my life, I show up at work and I fulfill my responsibilities and I honor them. No matter how I feel, I show up for the people in my life, whether I feel like it or not. I have managed to do that. And I do it from the bottom of my heart. And I honor it. It's not dependent on feelings. Whether I feel like it or I don't feel like it or whatever. You know? So why can't I have the same mentality when it comes to exercise? Make a decision to commit. Whether you're feeling motivated, demotivated, energized, not energized, you honor it. You keep going. Step. Even if it's 15 minutes. On those hard, difficult days, even 15 minutes. You gotta do it. Step. I typically step anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes a day. I did change a lot of my eating, to be honest with you. And all of my eating had to do with reducing sugar consumption. That's all I did. Cutting down sugar. Cutting down sugar in any form. Step. But often when I say sugar, we often associate sugar with processed foods, such as sodas, candy, chocolates, chips, snacks, things that we label them as snacks. But truth be told, sugar is found in many things, including some of your fruit juices, 100% fruit juices that are labeled as healthy. If you really took the time to read the food label and just read on your nutritional value label, on 100% juice that you would normally buy at a store, 100% orange or whatever, if you read the label on there, where it says carbohydrates and in parentheses it says of which are sugar, you'll be shocked. If you look at your condiments, tomato sauce, all these beautiful sauces and beautiful salad dressings, read that nutritional label where it says carbohydrates and in parentheses it says of which are sugars. You'll be shocked how much sugar a person can consume in your breakfast cereals. All these beautiful things, some of them are even labeled as sugar-free. Read them, you'll be shocked. So that's all I did, really. That's the only drastic change I made, is to be mindful of how much sugar I'm consuming. Step. And then exercise 30 to 45 minutes a day. Step. And then drink water and make sure you get enough sleep. Because if you don't get enough sleep, I think I've said this today during this session because I'm living it. I'm living what I keep saying. I keep emphasizing, if you don't get enough sleep, you're not going to have enough stamina and enough motivation to exercise. I had trouble exercising today earlier on because I didn't get any sleep yesterday. So I had to take a 2-hour nap, and then I woke up feeling better. And I had to take a cold shower in order for me to be able to feel energized. That cold shower helped me to kind of come here and feel more energized and have stamina to exercise. That's what I had to do. Step. Hence I'm saying, these are the 4 things that you need to make sure you do. They are non-negotiable. Exercise, whether it's 20 minutes, 15 minutes, we are all at different stages. Some of us are beginners, some of us are intermediate, some of us are advanced in this journey. So you can't say as a beginner, you can't go from not running to running a marathon. It doesn't work that way. And your body is not built for that. It has not built endurance for that. Endurance takes time. It takes effort. It takes consistency. Your body it's gotta adapt to the process. So don't get caught up, especially for those many of us who will be starting with New Year resolutions, because it's a pattern. Usually at the start of the new year, people have New Year resolutions. Oh, this year I'm gonna go to the gym, and all the gym memberships are flaring up. The start of January, come February, they're reduced by 80%. People start falling off. By the time it hits April, only 20% or 30% of the people who signed up at the start of the year stay on track. So set realistic expectations and understand that you cannot go from not running at all to running a marathon. You cannot go from barely exercising to thinking you can step for an hour. Because when we are stepping like this, it looks easy. Okay? It really does, until you get on a stepper. It really does. And feel that this machine can walk you out. Because it looks little, it looks small, doesn't it? So we tend to underestimate it. Step. So 15, whether you are exercising 15 minutes, the point is you are moving more than you used to. That's the point. And that's the point of the Step and Feel Transformation Challenges, is that every 8 weeks is like running a lap of a race, and you have a lap of 8 weeks periods. What you need to do every 8-week period is ensure that you are better than where you were in the previous one. The point is you move a little more than you used to. You reduced sugar a little more than, or you consume less sugar, a little less than what you used to. Or you're eating more nutrient-dense food than you used to. And you are hydrating more than you used to. So you gotta make sure that you're doing better than what you used to. That's what this journey is about. So whether or not you can last for 20 minutes, somebody's exercising for an hour, you are at different points. If you didn't exercise at all, and you start exercising for 20 minutes, that will do wonders to your body. Trust me. The fact is you are moving. Those 20 minutes, they add up. They add up. It all adds up. So don't push yourself too far and go from not stepping and then all of a sudden you want to step for 2 hours. You are setting yourself up for failure. Give it time. Give time to build endurance. Even if it's just 10 minutes a day, start from 10 minutes. Then 10 minutes, push yourself another day to go for 14 minutes. Stick to 14 minutes, and then another day push yourself to go 18 minutes. And before you know it, down the line, after a couple of weeks, you are no longer at 10 minutes, you are now at 30 minutes. And you go on like that. Okay? Step. All right, I think I'm gonna call it a day. It was great seeing you. I will see you guys tomorrow. All right? How often should you exercise in a week? That depends on your goal, Sonia. What do you want to achieve? I think for me, reasonably is exercising 30 to 45 minutes, 5 times a week, or 4 to 5 times a week. That's what's reasonable for me. It depends on what you're trying to achieve. Are you training for a competition? Are you trying to build muscles? That will determine, it depends on your goal. If you want to be, firm and build muscles, stepping alone is not going to be sufficient. You need to be in the gym picking up weights, and you need to have some sort of that workout. Your diet is also going to look extremely different from somebody who is stepping. So if you want to lose your stomach is lost through nutrition. Exercise alone is not going to do it. Exercise will help aid burn and reduce the stomach fat and also firm up your muscles, but you lose your stomach fat through nutrition. Cut down sugar. Cut down the amount of sugar that you're eating. Eat unaltered fats, okay, found in fish like salmon. Eat your green vegetables. Cook in olive oil. Eat your green vegetables. Cabbage. Go back to basics. You know when they used to teach us in preschool that you should eat green leafy vegetables? That's what we need to go back to those basics. Eat cabbage, bok choy, spinach, mushrooms, capsicum and peppers, lettuce, celery, green beans. Go for, what else am I missing? All these vegetables that I'm telling you about. Sweet potato instead of traditional potatoes. If you compare the sugar quantity, I will use sugar and carbohydrate interchangeably. As I'm talking like this, I'm going to keep stepping so we might as well keep exercising, moving the body. If you compare the carbohydrate content in potatoes versus sweet potato, I'm not saying you can't eat potatoes, but you need to be mindful of how often you eat them. So instead of eating traditional potatoes, rather replace it with sweet potato, or even if you're going to have fries at a restaurant, rather go for sweet potato fries than traditional potato fries. And there's nothing wrong with that. Even if you're having potato fries, it should just not be an everyday thing or every other day thing. It should be maybe if you go out on a weekend, be mindful of those potato fries. Don't eat them so often. That's what I'm saying. So that's the only way you're going to reduce the fat in your stomach. No exercise. There's no amount of stepping, no amount of, I don't know what form of exercise, unless you pick up heavy weights, like those bodybuilders. Have you seen bodybuilders in the gym walking and how much weight they pick up, and all these things that they're putting on their bodies, and the amount of hours they put in the gym? You can get away with that. You can get away with maybe losing some fat on your stomach, but if you can't afford to do that intense workout, you need to, the driving force here is how you eat, and how you eat is cutting down sugar. All right, and ensuring that you have nutrition, like broccoli, cauliflower. I love cauliflower. I cannot live without cauliflower. I do so many things with it. For instance, there are very different variations that I do with cauliflower. Instead of having traditional rice, white rice, which is refined carbohydrates, and I will use carbohydrates. These are what we call simple carbohydrates, and I will use it interchangeably as sugar, because simple carbohydrates now are refined carbohydrates. All right, so instead of having traditional rice, I would rather make rice from cauliflower by merely putting it in a food processor and grinding it and processing it into small little. It doesn't taste like rice, but it kind of gives the texture of rice. Rather than having that rice in my bowl or in my meal, I would use that cauliflower, drain the water out, season it with salt and pepper, and saute it in olive oil. I've used unaltered fats. Salt and pepper do not have additional sugars, so I didn't add any extra sugars onto my cauliflower. And then it's packed with nutrients. But if you check the carbohydrate difference of, or the sugar levels or sugar contents of traditional refined rice, white rice, versus the cauliflower, is significant. Cauliflower rarely has sugar. Okay, that's what I mean when I say cut down the sugar. So instead of having traditional rice, have cauliflower rice. Make your rice out of cauliflower, and then you can have your fish. I love fish, I really do. I prefer it over meat. It's just a preference. Some people go on with meat, and with what I would normally have that with, I can have it with prawns or shrimp. I can make a shrimp fried rice. So once I've prepared my cauliflower rice, and then I would just in butter, season my melt butter, drop some garlic over there in the butter, melt butter with garlic, and then from there on I would add shrimp, and then I will also season it with salt, pepper, and then put a bit of chili. I like it spicy. Then I'll put a bit of chili, and then from there I would add on like some beans and capsicum, like red, yellow, green capsicum peppers. I would dice them, put them in my fried rice, a bit of carrot, because carrot is quite sweet. I'm also mindful of how much carrot I put in my fried rice. Can put a bit of it. I can put also just a handful of peas. Then I can have that. I can have that as a fried rice. All right, as opposed to using traditional rice. That's how you cut down sugar. That's how you reduce carbohydrates. And in that way, all the fat will melt off. That's what worked for me. All the fat will melt off. All right. Some people may, for example, again, another meal that I like to make is mash. Instead of having mashed potato, I mash my cauliflower. Same process. The same way you would make mashed potato. Instead of using potatoes, use cauliflower and put it in the food processor, and put your garlic butter in there, your cream cheese, all that, the same way you would make, except you don't add things like flour and sugar, none of that, okay? The same way you would make mashed potatoes, it's the same way you would mash cauliflower. After making, like what I found with mashing cauliflower is that the food processor helps with the texture to give it that fluffy, creamy texture of mashed potato. So you can have that, and then in your air fryer or even on your pan, you can grill your lamb chops with herbs. You can have parsley, coriander, chop, marinate that, put salt, put pepper, paprika if you must, and then whatever spices that you are adding, you need to make sure that they're also natural spices. They are not spice mixes with additional sugar added. Then you season it according to your preference. Garlic powder, onion powder. You can put your lamb chops in an air fryer, or you can grill them on your stove, and you have your mashed cauliflower with lamb chops rather than having a mashed potato. That meal, if you compare them, one is relatively lower in sugar, so you have cut down the sugar quantity that you would have consumed. And in that way, if you start eating this way, what that happens is you are no longer giving your body excessive sugar. You're no longer giving, because your body uses sugar as a primary source of fuel, all right? And what that means is it will convert sugar into glucose, and then break it down and then use it as fuel to carry out any bodily functions. All the systems that are happening in your body rely on sugar as a primary source of fuel. And also any physical activity like this, the body is using up the sugar that you're consuming. So if you overfeed your body excessive sugar and it doesn't use up any excess, any leftover sugars, will then get stored back into your body and get transferred and transformed into fat. And that's how you gain weight. So you need to be able to cut down sugar to balance out the amount of sugar that you're consuming versus the amount of sugar that your body is using up. So if you lower your sugar content in such a way that you are now burning more, you are using more sugar as fuel, or your body is actually even running out of sugar to burn as fuel, it's intelligent enough. The body is intelligent enough to say, well, so and so is no longer giving me enough sugar content to run on. So the body will adapt and say, and will seek out an alternative source of energy, which is fat. The fat that is stored in your stomach, the fat that is stored in your thighs, in your arms, your body will, if you reduce the amount of sugar and not give it enough to carry out, like for example, when you're exercising, you've been starving it off of sugar, it will go seek out that fat as an alternative source of energy. That's my understanding. And please, if you're having any underlying health conditions, please fact check the things that I'm telling you with your doctor before you start cutting out sugar, because people have different conditions. Some people have diabetes, different types of diabetes and all these things, and you don't know what that could trigger if you lower your sugar content excessively. So you need to be able to check that with your doctor. You need to be able to check that with your nutritionist if that is okay, and do it under their supervision. But this is what I've been doing. And also people who are dependent on medication, you don't know if you lower your sugar quantity, how you're going to respond to medication. If you're on chronic medication, you don't know how your body is going to respond. Is it going to change the way your body responds to medication after you've lowered your sugar quantity to that level? All right, so you need to make sure you check in with your doctor, because I am not one. I'm just sharing you, I'm just telling you what I've learned, the information that I've gathered, the things that I have practiced, and hence have aided me to lose the weight by just reducing sugar. I've said a mouthful. I tend to get carried away. Whew, it's almost an hour now. All right. Yes, Likhe. Don't set unrealistic expectations. Gradually increase your exercise, gradually work on yourself, take time, give it time. This thing is a process. Give it time, okay? And it's got setbacks, it's got learning curves, it's got difficulties, just like life. It works like life. What do? You pick yourself up, you learn, you educate yourself, you move on, and you just keep moving on. There's no finish line to well-being. You just gotta seek to get better and better. Yes, T-Man. Yo, I talk too much. My friends will tell you that I can talk. All right, I think I'll end it here, guys. Love and light. I'll see you guys tomorrow.